Hey folks, this is Vince with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly check out Manor Lords. This is a game that you can currently find on Steam's Early Access program for about 40 bucks or so. When I stress Early Access, that means everything that you're about to see is subject to change. You can see the build number on the bottom, 0.7.955. So while the game is by default 40 bucks, there's a current 25% off sale right now. It's just the standard discount. And if you own some Hooded Horse games, you'll get an even cheaper discount depending on how many games you own. I think I got this game for about 25 bucks all in all. So I got like almost half off, which was really good. So I've been playing it off and on for the last couple of nights and I'm really enjoying it. I'm still on the same playthrough and I've got several hours in this. I want to take you through this personally because there's a bit going on here and it's a bit overwhelming, I think. Although it's still a little bare bones. And a little buggy in some places. So when you start a new game, you can choose your portrait, you can adjust your coat of arms, you can even save your coat of arms, and that way you can load it in the future. But there's quite a bit here to choose from, different designs, different colors, and so on. So you can play around with that if you want to. Then we get into the actual scenarios. There's Rise to Prosperity, Restoring the Peace, and On the Edge. And there's a little plus sign here where more is coming soon. And then you can adjust the difficulty here. Now there's only one map though. It says Early Access Map. So whatever scenario you choose, it's going to be the same map type. And on top of that, there's no preview of it, and you can't actually choose what region you start in. The map is broken up into like, I want to say 9 regions, something like that, maybe a little less. And then the computer will assign you one. But there's no way to like pick where you want to start, which I think is a problem. So I would like to see more of that in the future, more customizable setups. You can adjust the difficulty further, like end goal. Do you want to win via growth, conquest, no goal at all? AI stuff you can turn off on depending on your scenario. Off-map adversaries, these guys will just, I guess, bring soldiers onto the field on occasion to challenge you. I wouldn't say it's like Total War in the way it plays, even though it's been compared to that. Rather than you being warped to a separate field of battle, you do the battle right there on the map. So, like, units will spawn on the map, and then wherever your units are on this map, you also just go to it. And again, you can see and manage your stuff while you're doing that. You can manage all your buildings while combat is happening. So it's not like a separate instance. It all takes place in real time on the default map, like the original map. Raider frequency, I recommend turning that off. I didn't start with it, but I've heard horror stories of people getting robbed constantly and they can't do anything about it. Although bandit camps, as far as I know, give you influence in this game if you defeat them, and I have them turned off because I'm still learning the game. You can earn influence in other ways, so it's not too much of a problem. You can choose your starting season, starting supplies, armament deliveries, approval rating, stuff like that. So yeah, there's quite a bit here to adjust if you want to do that. What I'm going to do instead, however, is load up my save that I've been working on for the last, oh gosh. I'm going to assume it's at least 5 hours at this point, 7.2 hours on record according to Steam. So it's loading the game right now. And I'm going to go ahead and pause it so that nothing happens. And I'm going to zoom out. And like I said, the game doesn't really let you pick what region you start in. This is the map, and I started in the center region. I eventually branched out into this down here, and yes, you can name your regions after you get them. The AI, I enabled an AI opponent that is passive but can still take over land. He is so aggressive in doing that. I don't know how he's doing it. I don't have bandit camps like activated for him to get influence that way. I just feel like he's cheating, and every like 9 months to the year, he's going to claim something. But there is a cheat, like, workaround that it's like bugged or something, but I can pretty much, like, I can tell him not to take it over, and that'll start a battle. Like, we'll fight it out on the battlefield, but before that happens, I enter diplomacy and tell him, I'll make it worth your while if you don't settle this land. And he'll say, okay, I won't take it. So it's like he's super, it's annoying, but it's a thing. So anyway, getting back to what you do, there's a lot going on here, but you can see the graphics are, you can zoom in, you can actually take control. I love it. You don't actually do anything in that view, but that is a thing. You do most of your building on the bottom of the screen here. There's roads that you can adjust or create. Construction. I will say that like it's standard across most of these buildings. Like if you want to build a logging camp, you put that down. The little white circles are connections to roads. Woodcutter's Lodge for firewood. And then there's further industry, which I won't get into right now. But it's pretty bare bones in what you can build because, like, I've played other games like this. Say, Banished is just a default one I can think of, and that one is just like the amount of buildings that you can actually create in that particular game are pretty ginormous. Like there's just a lot, especially with mods. In this game, like the commodities are so little. Like for example, when it comes to farming, there's very little. There's flax, barley, rye, and wheat, and that's it. Like there's no like there's no other like rice farming. None of that. There's very few things that you can farm in this game, and that's there are orchards that you can get, but you don't plant the trees via a farm. Rather, when you build houses and you build them wide enough, you can put extensions on them. Like for example, here's a house, and I upgraded it with a chicken coop that I used money with to do. Like there's villager money, regional wealth, and then there's personal money. And I used the villager money to upgrade these houses with chicken coops and vegetable fields so that food can come in naturally for them and they won't be as like starved for food all the time. But you can change that to other things. Like you can make ale. You can have a person specialized in making tools, spears, and sidearms, war bows, clothing. So you can actually like if you make the houses large enough, you can add extensions, which is really cool. And I'll just show you that what that looks like real quick. I click once and it starts drawing a line. And the arrow is where like the front of the houses are going to be. If I click again and I draw back and then I come over here, now you'll see that it's like it's going to create houses and extensions and workshops or whatever they're called. Like the houses themselves are the houses toward like yeah, right there toward the road. But back here where the little houses with hammers are in, those are like workshops, and that's the upgradable stuff I was talking about. And then there's like little side houses, which I think you just if you want to grow your population, you can like add a little house there if you want other people to move in there, so that you can do that as well. So yeah, building housing in this game is a bit more like zony in the way that you create it. It's still not like City Skylines or SimCity. You're not like drawing green residential plots, but rather you are creating points, and depending on how you draw them, you'll get different layouts. So you'll be messing around with that a little bit until you get what you want. But yeah, I mean, there's a decent amount of buildings here, but I can quickly show you there's a trading post. And this is just a good way to see everything all at once. There's, under construction, there's stone and planks, roof tiles and blocks, and you can buy and sell things at your trading post. Some of these things you actually have to establish a trade route for by paying money. So you have to actually pay the money first to even open up the trade route. Kind of similar to like Caesar 3 Caesar 3 and 4 way back in the day. You had to pay for the trade routes to be open before you can do it. Crops, there's flax, barley, wheat, and rye. That's it for those crops. Food, honey, meat, berries, bread, and eggs, vegetables, and apples. Those are the food sources there. Crafting materials, grain, hides, flour, wooden parts, linen, iron ore, herbs, wool, malt, iron slab, wax, clay, yarn. So there's a bit more here, but yeah. Commodities, again, it's just the one page. Tools, cloaks, shoes, ale, clothes, and candles. And then lastly, military, like there's various weapons and stuff. And what's cool is you can actually equip your villagers with these items. But the problem is if you send them out to battle and they die, you lose them. They were working toward in your town, working to better it, and now they're dead. So now you have to wait for more people to come in. However, you can hire mercenaries to combat that problem if you want to do that. But yeah, that's a quick look at that. There is livestock as well that you can buy and sell if you want to. I'm trying to find a post here somewhere. Hitching post. So there's you can upgrade the hitching post to like a small stable. Ox is a way to carry things around. So kind of like the Teamsters in Tropico, which I feel like Tropico is the closest comparison I can make to this game because there's a lot of similarities here. It takes a while in Tropico to build anything because it takes time for people to get there with their materials and all that stuff. This game is much the same way in that it takes a while. Don't build a whole bunch of stuff right away all at once. Build a couple of buildings, wait for them to be finished. So I used some Tropico knowledge in this particular playthrough, and it served me pretty well. People have to get from their houses to the workplaces, so it's a good idea to build houses next to the workplaces. Marketplaces are essential because without them, houses will not upgrade. If you click on a house, you'll see what they want: water access, church level, stall supply, food stall supply, clothing stall supply, and if you satisfy all of those via nearby marketplaces, you can upgrade houses to the next level, which generate bonuses for you, which is really cool. So long story short, you're trying to feed your people, you're trying to develop resources, and each piece of land is different. There'll be like, this piece of land sucks when it comes to berries. This one over here that I just claimed, this is like this is a huge rich deposit over here, whereas this one is not. I will warn you, however, that when you do take over another piece of land with either influence or king's favor, you're starting over fresh. So you're going to be managing this separately compared to this. So you're creating like two separate towns. I have not figured out how to trade between them yet. I'm still working on that in my current playthrough, but that is a thing. In the upper left corner is like your population in this game is sort of comprised of families. Typically, you assign a family to a job. So if I need someone to work at the large warehouse, I assign a family to that, and they do their thing. If you see a little stall icon, that means that they have a market stall somewhere here, and they're giving goods to people, to satisfy their housing requirement. So the population is based off of like how many families there are is what there is individual population that you can see here, but typically it's just like level 1 families, level 2 families, level 3 families, armies that you have. Then you've got approval rating. You'll get various like bonuses and debuffs. You can start charging taxes after a while once you have the manor down. Public order, that's another thing. Regional wealth, again, is what the villagers themselves get, like the regional wealth, and you can spend that to further upgrade houses and add extensions, workshops, that kind of thing. Whereas your own personal stuff is used for like diplomacy and mercenaries and settling a new region, that kind of thing. So there's two different like currencies. Again, kind of like in Tropico, there's like a Swiss bank account. And in this game, it's like this is the villager money. Regional wealth is like standard money, but then you've got your personal money, which you can use for other things. So there's that. Then there's like livestock. I've got sheep right now, which I'm getting wool from. And again, oxen is used to sort of ferry things around. There's also horses and mules, which I've not messed with yet. Then there's a nice helpful thing here. A number of months before supplies run out. Food and fuel. Those are the most two important things in this game. And you want to try and keep, like, I shoot for about 8 months or more. Right now I'm doing pretty well because I pretty much upgraded every house that I could to a level 2. And then I added all of them have eggs, like chicken coops. So, like, I've got money now, so, like, I've been upgrading everyone's houses with chicken coops, And that's where the bulk of my food is coming. I've got 439 eggs. Everyone is just eating eggs. That's what it is. And because I don't have enough berries, I am making bread, albeit very slowly. The land that I'm currently in, that I started in, is not suitable for farming. At least most of it isn't. So for example, there's only a little bit of emmer fertility, which I think that's wheat. Don't quote me on it. I don't know the difference between emmer and rye. I'm guessing emmer is just a type of grain, but I never see emmer in these types of games. There's flax, which the fertility sucks. Barley, which the fertility sucks. Then there's rye, and that's what I have planted here. And these fields do have a fertility rating. You can do a crop rotation kind of thing if you want to, and you can sort of help them out by not planting anything there for a season to bring their fertility back up. So there is a fertility thing going on here, but typically, right now I'm just growing a bunch of this rye, and then I'm refining it at the windmill, and then over here to the oven, I'm making bread. So that's just that. But again, depending on where you are, you're going to have access to different resources. Like this one over here, barley's better. I was hoping to like plant barley and then ship it over, but I haven't figured out how to do that yet. And I just started over here, so it's going to take a while. So I just started importing the barley and the flax and that so that I can start upgrading my houses to level 3. Whenever you upgrade, by the way, there's you get a new settlement level. And if you click on that, this is like a tech tree, which is kind of cool. And this is specific to that region. So Voyager is a region, and eventually Enterprise has its own region. And you can use upgrade points to upgrade things. Like here's a quick full view of it. A lot of it is locked. Like half of it seems to be locked behind like early access. It's not in the game yet kind of thing. But yeah, you can spend points here to kind of specialize. You can unlock orchards from here. You can unlock beekeeping, which gives you honey. You can put down up to 2 apiaries per region. Different things like that. So it's up to you on how you want to do it. There's also policies that you can sign. Again, kind of like in Tropico. Tropico has edicts. In this game, it's policies. There's usually like a plus minus. So it'll give you this, but at the cost of this, that kind of thing. Production, there's nothing here, so I don't know what that's all about. Maybe that's coming later. It's just a blank screen, so I can't tell you what that's all about. But yeah, I mean, like, all in all, this game isn't bad. I'm going to hit play to let this play out. It's graphically beautiful. The sounds, the music I have turned off because I don't want to get hit with copyright. I love, like, this is amazing. It's absolutely fantastic. There are some bugs present in this game, and you know, sometimes I can't figure out how to do things. But like I did have to like Google or seek help on the forums because not all things are explained as well as they could be. And as far as combat is concerned, it's incredibly difficult. Like I feel like the AI, I played Combat Reloaded several times, and I had a hard time with it. There's a good example. Again, he's trying to claim another piece of land. I think it's whatever one's flashing. He's trying to claim this one where I'm at. I don't think so. Well, I'll hit resolve the claim on the battlefield. Enemies declared. Vincent Hildebolt von Brunbunbun. And now he's got his units over here. More may be arriving, I don't know. But what I can do now, if I want to, I can go to my army button down here. I've only got like 5 units, but I can hit plus to create new units. And I can create footmen, spear militia, polearm militia, or archers. And I tried archers, they suck. I don't know what it is. Like I've hired, hopefully they'll have them here, hire mercenaries. This is what I did. I just hired mercenaries. Hire this company and hire that company. And these rotate out. And now I've got other, under my control, I've got, is that them too? So wait, oh, see, this is what I mean, like, they've got all of this army, like, it's ridiculous how much they have. Let's go ahead and hit play. I don't know where my armies are. They're here, so, oh, there's a group down there. Oh, and one spawned over here. So, yeah, now they're just gonna get slaughtered. I mean, like, the the mercenaries, when you hire them, they spawn in like a random area. So, like, well, they're screwed. But this is what combat looks like. It's cool, don't get me wrong, it's cool, but I have yet to win a single battle because I don't know what it is. Either I'm really bad at this military wise, or I've been figured out like again, I could use my own people, but I also don't want them getting slaughtered. So again, the workaround to this is if I go to diplomacy, I don't know if it's possible now. Diplomacy and then negotiation. I can make it worth your while if you drop your claims. And it says 0S description. Script. It's like bugged. You can clearly see it's bugged. Look at the descriptor. Send. Letter sent. And now we'll just wait. Oh, okay. So he decided, nope, we're done. My claims are non-negotiable. I may withdraw my claims for such a price. So you just do that every 9 months or so. And he doesn't claim territory. I didn't learn that little trick until like after he had claimed these ones, but again, if you want to stop him from claiming, just send him a message, hit contest, send him a message, and he should cancel the claim after a while. So if I play this again, I'm going to take the AI opponents off because I feel like they're not balanced right now. They're not like, I just feel like the AI cheats. You know what I mean? And this is trying to learn a game like this and contend with that at the same time. It's frustrating. So my suggestion to you is play with no AI opponents and just learn the game and, branch out on your own without any pressure, turn raiders off, and then just learn how to survive on your own. Once you get a handle on that aspect of it, then maybe introduce the rest of it. And to be fair, there are scenarios that will sort of guide you along those lines. So as far as my first impressions of this game, and again, keep in mind I've only been playing for about 7.5 hours, I am really digging this. Like graphically, it's just super impressive. It is a bit bare bones. Like the amount of things that you can build in this game, it's just not as much as other games. For example, if you want to play a game that sees your civilization across multiple ages and has you building all sorts of crazy production chains, check out a game called Kingdoms Reborn. The AI in that game is super passive, doesn't really attack you all that much. Even if you don't have to add them, but if you do add them, they kind of just leave you alone while you do your thing. And the maps are huge, and you get to decide where you place things. I hope that this developer like takes like the whole like large scale of Kingdoms Reborn and implements that into this so that, because Kingdoms Reborn, you can set up the game in a number of ways. You can preview the map. You can see what you're getting. You can even adjust the terrain. Like you can change like how the sea level, for example, of the map that you're playing on, how arid it is or how temperate it is. So there's so many things you can do with that game to set up your experience. And this game is definitely headed in the right direction. Like it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And I love the idea of like stalls, and it's just everything just works well. It's just there's not a whole lot here right now compared to other games in this series. Like once you've played it for 5 to 7 hours, you'll go, well, I've done everything. What else is there to make? Nothing. I'm done. Like I've made everything. Now I guess gotta take all the territory in the map, I guess, and that's it. So like the early game is there, mid game is there, but late game it's like, well, there's nothing left to do. So, and I feel like I'm not really leveling up as much as I would like. I've only like assigned two things to this tech tree, this development tree. It would be cool if I could do more to it. And to be fair, I mean, these are only level 2 houses. Again, I could probably upgrade them. Yeah, level 3. I'm ready to do that. So once I start upgrading that, I'll get more points to spend. But still, like, I feel like I could have used some of these things several hours ago. So do I recommend this game? On the sale that it's at right now, yes, 25% off is really good. And again, if you have that Hooded Horse, if you have a nice collection of Hooded Horse games, and it's part of that set, you can get the game for even cheaper than that. But it's headed in the right direction. I am enjoying my experience, and I look forward to seeing more customization options in the future. So there you go, folks. That was Manor Lords. If you guys haven't already, subscribe to me on Twitch and YouTube. That way you can stay up to date with any new content I'm going to publish. This is Vince. Thanks for watching. I will catch y'all next time. Take care.